Hello everyone, Harry here. Welcome to Scrap Science. As a reminder, for the video series we're working on, our goal is to build a voltage and current display that I can use for my electrolysis experiments. To make it look nice, we're using Nixie tubes, 3 digits for voltage, 3 digits for current. Last episode, we finished with a complete circuit that could both power all 6 of our Nixie tubes, and we could manually instruct each digit to do whatever we want. The good thing about this setup is that it's incredibly easy to extend this and use a microcontroller to send the instructions to each tube. Of course, a microcontroller is much faster than doing this manually. Just to explain the protocol a little bit, all a microcontroller needs to do to get our Nixies to display a number like, say, 987654 is go one by one. First, it would send the number 9 in binary on the shared input of each tube circuit. Then it would pulse the enable pin for tube 1, which makes it read the number 9, display it, and keep displaying it even after the pulse has ended. Then the binary input would be set to the number 8, the enable pin on the second tube would be pulsed, and you can probably imagine the rest of the sequence from there. This is exactly what I've set up here. I've just got the 6 tubes connected to an Arduino doing exactly what I've just described, displaying random numbers, refreshing a few times a second. The whole setting and enabling process only takes something like 10 milliseconds per tube, so every time the row refreshes, it sweeps across very quickly, and in fact I don't think you can even see that happening. I could definitely push it faster, but I don't think there's any point. Regardless, with a system like this, we can basically make it display any 6-digit number, or any 2 3-digit numbers, which is what we actually want. To increase the functionality of our display just a little bit, these are IN12B Nixies, which means that we have the opportunity of using decimal places, greatly increasing the usefulness of our display when measuring voltage or current. I didn't really talk about this last time, but on the driving board of each tube, I have a high voltage transistor just driving the decimal point cathode. As such, I've got a pin on each board that if we send 5 volts to, will activate the decimal point. So I'll activate one of those here manually right now. Hopefully you can see the decimal point appearing on our second tube right there. Anyway, we'll come back to that function a little bit later. This video is going to be all about working with our current system and making these numbers display voltage and current to some capacity. Putting it all in a box and giving it multiple measurement ranges and things like that will come in part 3, I suppose. Starting with voltage, this is really easy to measure actually, since our Arduino inherently has an analog to digital voltage measurement capability. The analog inputs on an Arduino Uno measure any voltage from 0 to 5 volts in 1024 discrete steps. I've just got one of those analog input pins hooked up to a potentiometer, and if we just feed that measurement directly into our display, I'm displaying it twice, but both set of 3 digits are displaying the same thing so that you're aware, we've effectively got a voltmeter, though in units of 4.89 millivolts, and it can only measure between 0 and 5 volts, and it can't display the larger numbers because we only have 3 digits. Pretty terrible, but it is measuring voltage. Just to demonstrate that, if I slowly turn the potentiometer, you will see the actual voltage measuring with a multimeter here rising, and you'll see the numbers on the displays also rising. So let's give that a go now. Again, if you do the maths here, you'll probably roughly find that the voltage readout here is reading the actual voltage, again in units of about 4.9 millivolts. Things get better, of course, if we add a voltage divider in. With one of these and with proper calibration, we can divide any input voltage by this factor to make a new signal that the Arduino actually reads. Basically, if our input is divided by this factor, that useless voltmeter we had before with nonsense units is transformed into a voltmeter that reads in increments of 10 millivolts. And if we stick the decimal place on the right spot, and maybe even buy ourselves a symbol Nixie tube to display the volt symbol at the end, this is an actual 0 to 10 volt voltmeter. Right now I've got a voltage signal coming in on the left here. I'm measuring it with my Nixie tube voltmeter and also a real multimeter over there. So let's play around with this voltage a little bit. Turn it down to maybe something like 6 volts. Let's turn it down to 4 volts. We can turn it down even further. Let's go back up. You can see every step of the way, my voltmeter with the Nixie tubes is following quite closely to the actual voltmeter on the multimeter on the right. There might be a small error in what the Nixie tube voltmeter is measuring, but it's less than 1% as far as I can tell, so I'm pretty happy with that. I don't need like ultra good precision on this instrument that I'm building. So let's actually measure some things. First of all, 9 volt battery. Let's try that. Looks about right to me. Next, AA battery. We're expecting 1.5 volts on this one, of course. Yep, I mean this is a brand new AA battery, so a bit higher than 1.5 volts. To be clear, this is not as good as the voltmeter that you would find in a multimeter. This one that I've built actually draws current from the thing that it's measuring. Not much, but it definitely does draw current. A commercial multimeter, of course, has very, very high impedance on the inputs. But regardless, for my application, where this thing is literally just for measuring the output of a power supply, drawing a bit of current is perfectly fine. With that done, measuring current is a little bit trickier, but not by much. We measure current, of course, not by directly measuring current, but by measuring voltage again. Basically, we put a small value resistor in series with our load, and then the voltage drop across that resistor can be used to calculate the current through Ohm's law. So it kind of all just comes down to using a similar setup to our voltmeter before. The only tricky part is that we generally want to keep our current sensing resistor down at a really low resistance value, because if we make it too big, the voltage drop can be big enough that it makes a significant difference between what the power supply gives out and what the load sees. As a result, the voltage drops that we're going to be measuring are not going to be the 0 to 5 volts like before. Ideally, there'll be something like 0 to 50, maybe 0 to 100 millivolts, which the Arduino is not really designed to measure accurately. Remember, the Arduino can only measure an analog voltage in increments of about 4.9 millivolts. The solution here is to amplify the measured voltage before we feed it into the Arduino. We can do this with an op-amp in the non-inverting amplifier configuration. I hope it's alright with people if I don't explain what an op-amp is or what a non-inverting amplifier is. There are just so many videos on YouTube explaining that. Please go and watch them if you're confused. I promise they'll do a better job explaining it than I would. Anyway, what I've set up here is adjustable power supply comes in from the left-hand side. We power our load, which is a set of 5 LEDs in parallel. Then we have a 2 ohm current sensing resistor in series. The voltage across that is amplified by our op-amp by a factor of about 25 and is then fed into the Arduino the same way as before. Effectively, a range of 0 to 100 milliamps is transformed into a signal of 0 to 5 volts into the Arduino. I've just calibrated the amplifier, so let's pass some current through the LEDs and we'll see how it compares to what the multimeter is telling us the current is. Also note that even though the tube says amps, it means milliamps. Sadly, there's no milliamps symbol, but whatever. When I build the full device, I'll be measuring amps anyway. For the time being, multimeter is telling us a bit over 15 milliamps. My Nixie tube current measuring device is also saying approximately that value. So let's maybe change that current a little bit. Let's try 20. Still remaining in quite good agreement, I'd say. Go up to 25. Again, not bad at all. Going up to 30. Still all right. Let's jump to 40. I think pretty soon we'll hit the limit of what my amplifier can really do. 40 milliamps, yeah, we're kind of getting a little bit further out there. Can we hit 45? Look, it's a terrible amateur. It's kind of way off, but it does work, and it will work better if I solder things together on a PCB instead of using a breadboard, and also if I configure my amplifier a little better. Well, anyway, in the interest of keeping things nice and short, that's all I really wanted to do for this video. We can measure voltage, we can measure current. Next time we'll combine the two and put it all in a box, and then we'll have a device that will look a little nicer than my current power supply display. Until then, see you later.